Hey, what's up, you guys? Mark70 coming at you guys with a retro figure review. Blue Beetle's out in theaters, and I'm gonna go check it out. Super excited, super hyped, and you know what? What better time to go back and take a look at one of my top three figures of all times, my DC Icons Blue Beetle figure. This is what I call one of my core figures. I have to have this figure on the front top shelf at all times. It doesn't matter what kind of display it is, whether it's a multiverse, DC. Well, honestly, it's multiverse in my case, because this is the only. Well, this is the second DC figure that I own. I think it's an SH figure or it's Harley Quinn. I don't remember, but that's the only other DC character I have that I actually display alongside with this one. So, anyways, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a look at this figure. In the event you were curious to see about a decent Blue Beetle in 6-inch scale, the McFarlane figure is nice, and I am going to pick one up. I will review it once I get it, but I'll talk about that when I get that figure. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take a look at the DC Icons Blue Beetle. Now, again, for somebody who has no interest in packaging, I cannot seem to get rid of packaging. I don't know why. Some packages are just like, oh, this is nice box, I put away. Simple as that. So the DC Icons Blue Beetle. Really nice box, very simple design. I actually really like the design of this box. You know, nice cardboard outline, clear window, we can see all the accessories lined out. Very hollow, which is kind of unfortunate, but okay. Top of the box, Blue Beetle logo. Back of the box, the DC Icons line. This was sculpted by Paul Harding. Okay, other figures from this line: DC Icons Flash, Black Adam, and Lex Luthor. Isn't it weird how DC Icons like Flash, Black Adam, Blue Beetle? What were the last three live-action DC movies? Huh, so weird. When did this figure come out? I don't remember the exact time this figure came out. May 1502? Not sure what that means. I honestly don't even remember where I got this figure, and I don't remember how much I paid for this figure. But, you know what? Worth it. So now that that's out of the way, let's get rid of that box. I lied. I'm just going to put it away in storage because I am who I am. Let's put blue back in center. So I don't know if you noticed on the box, but this was based off of the Infinite Crisis arc, I believe. DC Icons. Where was it? Oh, I just read it. Yeah, Infinite Crisis. Sorry, right there. I think I shut off this side of the box. Infinite Crisis. DC Infinity. DC Collectibles. Alright, let's go ahead and knock out the accessories real quick. Now, this figure came with some pretty decent accessories, especially for being an older figure. So look how much you got back then. You got some wings. Granted, this is an older figure, so there is battle damage on these guys. Let's see if I can focus on the nice tech pattern. The wings. They are translucent plastic too, so if you could focus for me, there we go, see? Nice tech pattern on the peg, some paint wear and tear. Really old figure. I display this character a lot. This one held up a little bit better. No, same damage right there. Scarring right there. One of these days, I will probably give him a paint touch-up. Maybe. I don't know yet. We shall see what I have in store. His Gatling gun. Really nice. No articulation. Just a peg. It says right side, but you can really plug it in either hand. And his sonic cannon. His Blue Beetle Buster. Lots of tech detail. Really nice sculpt. I always have him with his weapons on. It's been the first time in a long time that I actually put his hands back on. Now let's get to it. Blue Beetle. One of my core figures. Alright, so nice sculpt detail. Very comic-y. Very comic proportions too. Like the only issue I have with this figure is, and I've learned to live with it because it doesn't bother me too much, but it's probably the head size. For the body, it's a really small head. Mind you, he's supposed to be an armored character, so that doesn't look like he's wearing a helmet. That looks like he's wearing a felt mask or paint. Full disclosure, I did give him a head mod because he had pretty limited articulation, so I'll show that off. I don't remember how limited the articulation was, I just remember I wasn't happy with it, so I went ahead and trimmed off a little plastic on the neck to give him a bit more range. Really nice. Dark metallic plastic. You really can't tell, but it's like a glittery blue. In person, it looks a lot more black without all the extra lights. Nice comic detail. Marbly plastic, but that doesn't bother me. I keep forgetting who made this figure. Just DC Collectibles. I forget. I don't know if anyone was licensed to like make these figures. I don't see any like brand logos or anything on the box, like Mattel or. I know it wasn't Hasbro. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys know if anyone was making these figures besides DC, because it just says DC Collectibles. I don't see any like Mattel or Spin Masters or any of those guys. I don't see any there at all. Brand logos on here, so yeah. All right, let me knock out the articulation really quick. So I'll start off with the head. It is, modified, so nice left, right, full 360 basically. But you can see right there, I trimmed some of the plastic. So check this out. His head pops off pretty easy now, and you can kind of see where I sliced off. I removed like a ring or two to give the ball joint some extra movement. It's a double ball joint. So there's a ball joint at the top of the head and a ball joint at the bottom. It's like ribbed, so you can see like little extruding beads on both sides of the ball joint. He's got extra painted eyebrows. I found that hilarious. Cool. Pop the head back on. Okay. So there we go. It's kind of an up. He can look up now. That was the whole reason why I had to modify his neck, so he can look up a lot better. So, I mean, he can fly, so obviously he needs to be able to look up. He can look down. And that's with a combination of my modification. Without it, it was not really able to do much. So, yeah, if you do have this figure and you didn't modify the neck, let me know. Take a look at the back real quick. Take a look at the scarab. Really nice. Kind of a flat backpack, so that's kind of unfortunate, but it's fine. Big old portholes for those wings. I'll put them on now. The scarab legs are all flexible plastic. These are a little bit more rigid than the other ones. Oh no, these are actually the same. So these two are the same flexible, rigid plastic. These down here are soft, very soft gummy plastic. I'm actually surprised they haven't snapped on me. I mean, I'm careful with my figures, but like, I mean, yeah, not bad. All right, so articulation, let's do it. So neck, double ball joint, top and bottom, modified, no neck. Nice sculpt detail on the neck. Arms, these shoulder pads are soft plastic. You can see kind of the bite marks right here from twisting and turning them in over the years. They're kind of warped. That's just, you know, it is expected. Surprised after having this figure for so long that it hasn't just rubbed, you know, and popped off. Obviously, I don't have him displayed like this very long, but it'll flex back into place when you're done. Full 360. No butterflies, obviously, but it's an older figure. You can see big hinge joint right there. For the shoulder, for the elbow. No, for the shoulder, I'm sorry. Swivel at the forearm. Really nice. Double jointed pinned elbows. Really good range. Both sides. The different color and plastics right here is actually comic accurate, so I like that they did that. Check it out. Joint is painted on the outside and sculpted on the outside. That's really cool. Not everybody does that currently, which is kind of a shame, but it is what it is. Forearm has a swivel, but that's also part of the accessories, so these pop off. Hands are in a hinge. I don't use these very often, so I'm kind of nervous. So it hinges outward that much and hinges inward that much. So and now back to normal display. Just like a 3 minute. Oh, I scratched off some paint from the fist. I wonder where it came from. Did it come off the arm? No. Chipped off the fist. That's fine. Really old figure. And again, like I said, I don't really display him with these on. So let's go ahead and arm him up. So Scarab Gatling. Nice click. Still a very solid click after all these years. Fusion cannon. Boom. And the articulation still pretty solid, even with this one. Obviously the rotation's a little bit hindered because of these pads, spikes, but it's not a problem. It can still be used. If you have it fully extended, you'll get a full rotation if you really wanted to, but I don't see why you would want to cover the forearm like that. You want to give him some bend for the recoil. I would assume this thing has some mad recoil. There was one thing I wish it came with, it would probably be a bladed weapon, because we do see him use like scarab spikes or beetle spikes, whatever you want to call them, beetle horns, as weapons. But you know, I'll take it. I will take it. Now let's go ahead and take care of the torso. So there's a ball joint at the top. You really can't see it, but I think it's a single ball joint. that goes from top to bottom. The ball's on the bottom, there's a peg going straight up. So you get some side to side, not a whole lot. You do get twist. You get slight crunch. And you get no backwards crunch, but that's because the backpack kind of stops it. Well, no, you can feel it stopping. Yeah, it stops. So no backwards crunch. But you get a lower crunch, which goes not too bad forward and backwards decent amount. That's just the bottom. So forward combined, not bad. Single, backwards. There you go. Simple flight pose right there. And obviously the wings go up and down as needed. The legs. Full splits. Well, almost a full split. It's a really good split. Single ball peg. Both sides. No swivels. It's kind of unfortunate, but you can kind of work with it a little bit on the ball joint. Very minimal. Double jointed knees. And they're ratcheted too. You can probably hear that. The ratchets do sometimes make it difficult to balance, but it also helps balance it, if that makes any sense. It's like a nice medium of useful and annoying. Hindrance more than annoying. Ankle back. Not much forward. Pull in and out. No toe articulation. Over the years, this one has gotten loose on me. This one's a little tighter. But that's just with years of swiveling and use. Overall, this figure still holds up in my opinion. And you know what? This one's going to be a core figure in my collection and my reviews until we get a replacement that just blows this one out of the water with better articulation, better accessories, better scaling. You know, it's got to be a full-on update of this character or version of this figure. At least for me anyways. I really enjoy Blue Beetle as a character, you know, as his own standalone thing. So having this figure is a yes for me. There we go. Well, ain't balancing issues. There we go. I got it. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and knock out my comparisons with the other Core 2 and call it a day. Here's my other two of my top 3 figures. I'll eventually get to top 5, top 10, but for now, these for sure are my top 3. My SH Figure Arts Iron Spider and my Revoltech Izuku Midoriya. I'm going to go ahead and neutral pose them real quick just for better scaling. Well, neutral pose Blue Beetle because Izuku and Spider-Man are pretty neutral poses. And there you go, guys. that is my review on the DC Icons Blue Beetle figure. Just in case, for whatever reason, you guys were looking into getting a Blue Beetle figure for your 6-inch scale, if you can track this guy down for a decent price, I would say, take it. And yeah, if you need to make modifications, there's thousands of ways to make modifications nowadays, so it's not like you'll be stuck with something that will be a complete hindrance. It's something you can definitely work with. It's a great base, honestly, but alone as a figure, I honestly think it's one of the, if not one of the best DC figures. I'm just being biased because that's my favorite character, but as a figure alone, it's a really awesome figure, guys. So if you, for whatever reason, found this guy and you were just on the fence, just needed one last, hey, check it out, seal the deal, one last opinion, hopefully I was able to give that to you, and there you have it. Thanks for joining me here, Mark70. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'll be making more reviews, and I'll be bringing you guys more than what I can, and hope you guys checked out the movie. If you did, no spoilers, give it a week, and let me know if you liked it for now. And after a week, yeah, let me know your favorite part. I am gonna go see it day of release, so I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. Don't spoil it for anybody else, and go Blue Beetle. Thanks for joining me, guys.